Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. This is TNA lockdown coverage here for you. The TNA 2013 results are in. This was a show to watch. I wish I would have been home to watch this and not where I was, where I basically got so busy I fell behind and was not able to see the last hour of the pay-per-view. Had to come home and dig around, and I was finally able to catch up on what I missed before I left. I was able to spoil for myself what was a really, really big um, spoiler that I wish I wouldn't have seen. It reminded me a lot of 2011 at the Night of Champions when Mark Henry finally was able to defeat Randy Orton and became the World Heavyweight Champion. Tonight in TNA, Bully Ray became a World Heavyweight Champion. Bully Ray defeated none other than Jeff Hardy. He did turn heel and join the Aces and Eights and did reveal himself as the president. I thought that was very, very surprising. I thought the president was either going to be someone like Eric Bischoff or Hulk Hogan, giving themselves the high spot of this group. Why Bully Ray is the president, and for vice president he picked D'Lo Brown, I have no idea. But this is something that is long due. I talked about it in my video that I put up today talking about this match. That I honestly thought that in 2002, Bubba Ray was a good choice as the guy I thought was going to beat Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. I know this is sort of a stretch, but just the promos that he gave on Monday Night Raw were really believable, and they really made me feel that you know they wouldn't be giving him this spot to give these promos on Monday Night Raw unless they were really, really going to do with them. Thing fell flat. WWE ended up putting the Dudleys back together after a while, and it wasn't until this last, I guess you can say, 2 years in TNA, he's really found his craft and he's really stepped his game up to become one of the best things in wrestling right now. Honestly, one of the reasons that I've been saying for the last year that TNA was still enjoyable. He was probably the MVP of the last year, and to put him in this spot is a spot that he honestly really, really does deserve. Uh, Kind of contradicts myself, as I've been saying for a long time, that James Storm is the guy that should be running the pack for TNA, making himself a star for that company. But this is something that really, really is well deserved. Looking over his career for everything that he did as a tag team guy, now putting himself as a world heavyweight champion as a singles guy, really sets his place in wrestling history. I think he is one of the good guys. I would put the Dudleys as one of my top three tag teams of all time, um, and just all around, this guy really, really did deserve it. Running down the show, honestly, I thought Lethal Lockdown was a real big disappointment. I thought this was going to be one of the matches that Ace and Eights pulled out a victory. They did not. It was basically Sting came out. He was the last guy down. Came, ran house over everybody. Eric Young went to the top of the cage, delivered an elbow drop on Mike Knox, and rolled him up for the 1-2-3. So surprisingly, the women's tag team champion had the biggest spot in this match. That ended up rolling the guy up for the pin. Where this goes from Eric Young from here, I have no idea, but I guarantee you, nowhere. This is just TNA being TNA, and it makes no sense to me. One of the biggest upsets, I guess you can say, if you're just looking at paper instead of watching the match, is Wes Briscoe defeated Kurt Angle in a steel cage match. But if you go and you actually watch the match, Kurt Angle kicked the shit out of Wes Briscoe. Won the match outright twice, I guess you can say, but the ref was down. Um, he hit the Olympic slam for what should have been a 1-2-3. Didn't get a 3 because the ref was out, so he walked out of the cage to win by that way. And as he was outside, D'Lo Brown ran down, threw him back in the cage, and then pulled out Wes Briscoe, who was able to, the ref was able to get up and see Briscoe outside of the cage and give him the victory. Um, if this is going to a Kurt Angle versus D'Lo Brown feud, I apologize for anybody who has to watch this. I know it's a long time before the next pay-per-view, and a lot of this stuff's going to be played out on television, but nobody wants to see this on TV. Why D'Lo's in this group, I have no clue. You already have one non-wrestler in Taz as a guy in the Aces and Eights, and I have no clue. It just wasn't for me. X Division Max Kenny King was able to pull out the victory over Zema Ion and Christian York. Watch out for Botchmania. There was a real big spot in there where Kenny King tried to do a like a he basically jumped off of somebody's back and tried to do a backflip outside the ring and hit somebody else. Fucked it all up, landed basically face first into the guardrail, and it was no good. But all in all, it was your normal X Division match with three guys in there going 150 miles per hour, willing to kill themselves to get themselves over, and I believe they did. And it was a good way to open up the show with Lockdown being on the road in San Antonio. I believe is where they were, and that was good times. Joseph Park got the win over Joey Ryan. Joseph Park inside the ring to me is trash. I enjoy all of his outside promos. His in ring to me is nothing. Um, he had Velvet Sky versus Gail Kim, but basically this match came down to Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell pretty much breaking out into their own match. Velvet Sky was able to get the win, but I knew when Taryn Terrell came in that basically she wasn't going to be a referee forever. It wouldn't make much sense when I believe TNA already has four other referees that they use for house shows and TV and pay-per-views, and now they're bringing in another one that's just going to do the women's matches. She's only going to work, basically one match. It didn't really make sense to me why, TNA employs a lot of women, but they don't have to use all the women on all their shows, but they're going to basically, if you have a house show or if you have television, you have to pay two girls. Now you have to pay three girls. If that makes sense to you, does it make sense? You have to pay those other referees, so why not just use those referees? So basically, I think now Taryn Terrell is going to be turning herself into a wrestler instead of just the head of the Knockouts division. Um, it makes more sense to me. I don't think she's the greatest worker. I thought she was really hot when she was in ECW, when she was the leader, when she did wrestle, and she wore the skirt in WWE. I found that pretty attractive myself, but I'm not really looking forward to her wrestling. We already have Velvet Sky, a girl in there. It doesn't work all that well. But then again, Miss Tessmacher, when she went from ECW to TNA, she was just sort of Eric Bischoff's secretary, I think is what she was, or something like that. And then basically she molded herself into what I guess you can say is a pretty respectable wrestler. So maybe Terrell's been working hard, and maybe she's gonna surprise us. From there, we went to the Battle of Robbie E versus Robbie T. Robbie T got the win. How this makes anybody care about him, I have no idea. The tag match was really good with the champions keeping their titles, and it is what it is. I think that match would have been a whole lot better without Chavo and Hernandez. For some reason, the fans in San Antonio really, really loves Hernandez. He's probably the most over he's been in years. I can't even remember when he won that TNA Money in the Bank briefcase deal and cashed it in on that three-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. But that's what it reminded me of. So that was basically the results. I think because of Bully Ray winning, I think Impact on Thursday is going to be a much-watched show. We'll have to see what they do from here. But Ace and Eights is no NWO, no matter what they try to make it out to be. They had the fans throwing the trash in the ring and everything at the end. Bully Ray gave some big promo, basically saying that he fucked over Hogan. Well, I guess he fucked over both Hogans. Even said that he screwed Brooke. I thought that was pretty funny. But there's one guy out there, Bully Ray, can give one of the best heel promos of all time. Um, he's got the title. He's going to be the main guy. They don't have a pay-per-view until May. Some people are even saying that he'll hold on to the title all the way till Bound for Glory. When AJ, who to me is sort of turning into Sting from WCW, where everybody thinks he's joining Aces and Eights because he's hair in his beard. He's riding around on a motorcycle. He won't talk to his family, and this, that, and the other. So we'll have to see what goes on from here. But Bully Ray giving some heel promos on Impact makes it watchable for me. Peace out.